Okay, think about those big city landmarks, the ones you see and instantly know where you are. Like the Eiffel Tower, right?
Paris?
Paris?
Yeah, or the Opera House in Sydney. Instantly recognizable.
Exactly. But what about those welcome signs? You know, the big signs on the way into a city. They're more than just a hello, aren't they? There's got to be more to them.
Oh, definitely. Those
Mhm.
city welcome signs, we often just drive past them, but they're actually, well, they're like little time capsules sometimes. They pack in a city's identity.
A bit of history, maybe, what
Yeah.
the city's about.
Yeah, exactly. It's history, maybe it's personality. Yeah.
Right. And that's what we're actually getting into today. We've got this list, a source looking at some really famous city welcome signs.
And our mission, so to speak, is to explore a few of these, see what makes them tick, what makes them memorable.
Uncover some maybe surprising facts along the way.
That's the idea. Look beyond just the greeting and see the stories. These quick insights can be pretty revealing.
Cool. Okay, let's start with maybe the most famous one. The Hollywood sign, Los Angeles, California.
Yes. Hard to miss that one.
When you picture Hollywood, those huge white letters up on the hill, that's probably it, right?
It really is. It's pooched up there on Mount Lee, overlooking the whole Hollywood district, and the scale is just immense.
How big are we talking?
Well, the letters themselves are 45 feet tall.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and the whole sign stretches out, what, about 350 feet long? So it's highly visible, really dominates the view from lots of places.
You really can't imagine LA without it now. It feels so permanent.
But here's the twist, the really interesting part. It wasn't meant to be this huge cultural icon, not at all.
No. What was it then?
Believe it or not, it started life in 1923 purely as an advertisement. A massive billboard for a real estate development called Hollywoodland.
Hollywoodland. Seriously.
Yep, land was part of the original sign. They only dropped it later. It just goes to show.
Shows how things change, right? Meaning shifts over time.
Exactly. What began as, a temporary marketing thing for selling houses.
Becomes this global symbol of the movie industry, of dreams, of making it big. It's quite a transformation.
It really is a kind of accidental icon, in a way, from real estate to representing global aspirations.
Okay, fascinating. Let's switch gears now. Trade the Hollywood Hills for the desert neon. Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ah, the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign.
Uh-huh.
Another absolute classic.
That flashing sign. Just seeing a picture of it makes you think of casinos and shows, doesn't it?
It really does. It went up in 1959, and yeah, it's become like the essential Vegas photo op, a real visual shorthand for the whole experience.
And here's a little bit of trivia I found interesting from our source. It's seen as the gateway to the Strip, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Feels like the start of it all.
But it's technically the unofficial southern end of the Las Vegas Strip.
Right. And even more specific,
Oh, go on.
it's not actually in Las Vegas.
Oh, wait, really? Where is it then?
It's located in Paradise, Nevada, which is like 4 miles south of the actual Las Vegas city limits.
Huh. That's kind of weird, isn't it? The most famous Vegas sign isn't technically in Vegas.
It is a bit strange. It makes you think about, how places build their identity. Where does Vegas, the idea, begin and end
Mm-hmm.
versus the actual map lines?
That's a great point. It's like Las Vegas is this larger-than-life concept, maybe bigger than its official borders.
Sort of transcends geography.
Okay, let's stay in Nevada, but head north. Reno and the Reno Arch.
Ah, the biggest little city in the world, spanning Virginia Street.
That's the one. And the arch we see now, that's not the original, is it?
No, the current one is actually the third version. It was put up in 1987.
Third time's the charm.
Maybe. But the original has its own cool story. It was built way back 1926.
Wow, nearly a century ago. What was the occasion?
It wasn't just decoration. It was built to celebrate the completion of 2 major roads,
Hmm.
the Lincoln Highway and the Victory Highway.
So, like, connecting the country.
Yeah.
A symbol of progress.
Exactly. These were major routes back then. So the arch really marked Reno as an important crossroads, a connection point.
And that motto, the biggest little city in the world. That's been around a while, too, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. That phrase is really stuck. It's been on the arches for generations. It has certain ring to it.
It does. It's memorable. A bit of a paradox. Biggest little hints at punching above its weight, maybe.
I think so. It suggests a lot packed into a smaller space. It's quite effective, really.
Okay, one last stop on our sign tour, based on the source material. Let's head east to Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Scranton, right. The historic sign there.
Maybe not as flashy as Vegas, but significant in its own way. It highlights the city's nickname, right?
Yeah, it proudly says the Electric City.
The Electric City. Why is that?
It's a nod to Scranton's history. It was one of the first cities to have Electric streetcars back in the 1880s.
Yeah.
A pioneer in early electricity use.
Ah, okay. So it's about their industrial heritage, that innovation.
Exactly. It's grounding the city in its past achievements.
And the source mentioned it was fully restored relatively recently, 2008.
That's right. Which is great. It shows they value that history. These signs aren't just left to crumble. They're maintained. They're living parts of the city's image.
That's a good point. They reflect an ongoing connection to the past, but also how the city sees itself now.
Yeah. And it's interesting, the source we looked at actually asked readers to chime in with other famous signs they knew.
Which makes you think, right, how many other towns and cities have these kinds of welcome markers, each with its own story? We just don't know.
Loads, I bet. And the other articles mentioned near this one in the source, things about travel tips or like gay-friendly cities.
Yeah. What about them?
Well, they seem unrelated at first, but they all kind of touch on this idea of place, identity, how you experience arriving somewhere, feeling welcomed, or understanding what a place is about.
Interesting connection. So pulling it all together then, what's the main takeaway?
I think it's that these city welcome signs, they might seem simple, just roadside furniture.
But they're not.
No. They often have these really fascinating origins, unexpected histories, quirky geographical facts sometimes. They definitely contribute to a city's overall character.
They're part of the story a city tells about itself.
Absolutely. Which leads to maybe a final thought for you listening.
Go on.
Think about the welcome signs in your own area or places you visit. Not just the official ones, but maybe unofficial things that feel like a welcome.
Like what? A certain view, a specific building.
Could be anything. But what do those markers, official or not, tell you about the place? What stories are they quietly communicating?
That's a really nice way to think about it. It makes you look at your surroundings a bit differently. These signs definitely pack more punch than you might first assume.
They really do. History, identity, geography, all wrapped up in a greeting.